Hey everybody, welcome to class. My name is Professor Fredericks, and this is CIS655 Cloud Applications Development. This is going to be a short-ish little intro video to get you up and running with everything you need to know for class. Basically, I'm going to be going over everything kind of technology-wise that we'll be using, kind of show you all the different web pages and references and all of that fun stuff that we're going to be doing, and hopefully get you up and running and ready to go for class. So first and foremost, before we get into it, we are going to be using Google Cloud throughout the semester, and they're one of, the several big cloud providers out there. The nice thing with them, at least from my perspective, is that they are very good with credits for students and faculty, meaning that everything is going to be free for you this semester. So all of your activities within Google Cloud, all of the accompanying labs you will be doing in the skills boost area, that is all free to you. And what I mean by this is that you should not put your credit card in anywhere. If you are ever concerned or worried or unclear, please ask me first because I can get you free credits to do everything. And I mentioned we're using Google Cloud. You might be coming from Azure or AWS or DigitalOcean or any of the other providers out there. The nice thing is that all of these skills that you'll be learning in here are transferable to all of those different domains. So if there is something that you are typically doing in Azure, like if you're doing Azure Functions, the Google Cloud equivalent is Cloud Functions, and then AWS equivalent is Lambda Functions, for instance. Getting a little bit deep into that already, but kind of the idea here is that it's going to be a little bit easier to focus on one, really explore all the technologies, and then transfer that to other interfaces. Okay, so some kind of administrative things for you all. This past semester, this particular course used to be called CIS 680. It is now CIS 655, so my apologies in advance. Some of the things that I have set up still say 680. I'll try to update those throughout the semester, but a lot of the videos, like the intro, is going to say CIS 680 or something like that. And really, that's just kind of a holdover from last time that I ran this class. But essentially, we are going to be um, kind of mostly focused around our LMS page here in Blackboard. I have a blog page for you all that accompanies the class that we'll be talking about, and our Google Cloud environment here as well. So before we go into everything there, I just want to kind of do a quick little administrative point. I have a video on plagiarism, and I don't want to spend a lot of time in this video talking about that. Please watch that video and understand what plagiarism is, what I'm worried about, things that you should avoid. I have a very strict policy, zero tolerance policy on plagiarism. And you're all going to be, by and large, graduate students in this class. So please, if you are unclear, if you have questions, watch that video, reach out to me. The Oscar department as well is always open to talk as well. So before you go down the wrong path, please make sure you understand what's going on there. I don't want to have to deal with any of these scenarios this semester if that's okay with you all. Anyway, first and foremost, what you see here is going to be your landing page. This is Blackboard. This is a little animation that I made a while back that I was quite fond of, and for whatever reason in the new Blackboard, it's like horribly scaled up. So you can see that little bar there. Might have to fix this one of these days. But this is the page that you are going to probably start with when you log into class. You should go into student mode. And here we have some folders for the different things that we'll be doing. So the basic course information. I have all the deadlines in here, the overall structure, when my office hours are, some kind of points for you to read through. Like here's all the technologies, focus on Google Cloud. Here's a link to the Discord server, which we'll get into it towards the end. I'll have my office hours in here. I don't have them finalized as of this video, so I'll be updating that, before you even see this video. So it's going to be kind of magic that it just appears. But make sure that you kind of go through all of the different things that we have in Blackboard here. All right, so here's a link to the course webpage, which takes you to this place. We'll talk about that in a moment. I'm going to have the syllabus up in here for you to read. Again, please read through the syllabus so that you understand my expectations, the grading structure, kind of everything about the class will be in there. And then the area that you'll be spending the most time in is this weekly content folder. So essentially what I have done for this class is I have broken up the modules into kind of chunks of 3 weeks at a time. And in let's look at the first folder here. So this is weeks 1 through 3. I have links to each of the blog posts in there. So I mean, basically, if you kind of go through the blog, here's week 1, week 2, week 3. There's links to all the videos and all that fun stuff. Um, but essentially, this kind of helps you walk through it as well. So here's cloud computing. We'll come back to that. But kind of the key point for you all here is that this is where all of the assignments are going to live. So week 1, here are all of the assignments you need to do with their due dates. So for Quick Labs, I need your email address. For the first assignment, I want to get to know you a little bit. So write something about yourself. Assignment 2, you're going to do your first thing in Google Cloud. And this would actually have a link to a lab that's going to help you through things. Some extra credit assignments. And then kind of the goal for me is that I want everything to be available to you on day 1 of the class so that you can work through it kind of at your own pace. The only thing here is that, yes, you can submit the assignments as early as you want. However, I'm not going to grade them until after the deadline has passed, in fairness to the other students. But on that point, I want to kind of stress because the way this class is structured is that being async, we don't have lectures, right? There's no in-class sessions. So you might be seeing a few more assignments than you're used to on a week-by-week basis. They are not, by and large, difficult assignments, but I would recommend doing them sooner rather than later. And the only reason I say that is because having everything up here at one time is going to seem like a lot, but if you kind of work through them, throughout the week, it shouldn't be that stressful. And honestly, a lot of these assignments are really not all that hard. So for instance, this assignment 2, cloud setup first web server. It is basically walking you through step by step how to set up your account. This is what Google Cloud looks like, add a project, and then you create your first virtual machine. And again, they're not difficult assignments. It's just kind of getting used to the cloud interface if you're not familiar with these technologies, right? So I would recommend looking at what you have to do for the week and starting sooner rather than later. I'm sure every professor tells you that too, right? It's all about being organized. So that's kind of the structure of Blackboard. All of your assignments will be submitted through Blackboard. So please, again, don't email me your assignment submissions. It all has to be done through Blackboard. Feel free to email me any questions you have, obviously, but everything formal has to be done through here. Okay, so other things. So this is Blackboard. Our exams will also be through Blackboard. Typically, the way I structure those is you have probably like two-ish days where I will have the exam open, and then you have to do it within that time. I'll give you more information as the midterm and final exams come closer for kind of what the structure of those will be. But basically, it will be through Blackboard. Okay. So we have our LMS. This is where our assignments will live. We have this blog that I've kind of kept pulling up and mentioning. This is essentially our course textbook. So all of the written down information is up here. So here is the course overview. Then week 1, here is pretty much everything text-wise that we'll be doing for this week, GWS versus Azure. And then week 2, I just noticed previous and forward are backwards, oddly enough. Cloud technologies. So here is all of the different things that we care about for cloud technologies. And other things that we have here are links to the videos that will accompany these concepts as well. So here, week 1, we had what is the cloud? Welcome to class, plagiarism, intro to the cloud, billing, costs, etc., etc., etc. Okay. These are all linked up here. I also have them in a YouTube playlist as well, and I just realized that I haven't, sorry, let me look off screen here. Sorry about that, I am back. I forgot to bring my playlist up here. So basically every single video will be linked in order in a playlist for the class so that you could kind of go through them one by one as you want there as well. But really kind of the whole point is that the ones relevant to this week are linked here, or you could just go through the whole playlist if you want. Those are meant to help you out as we go. Okay, so we have our LMS. You submit assignments there. We have our blog. It's where you're going to get your quote unquote textbook information. We have the YouTube playlist, videos that accompany the class, which if you're watching this video, you've already seen it, which is great. And then we have our Google Cloud interface. So this is the actual technical aspect here. Now, this is where kind of the fun begins, I suppose. This interface is completely different than in some of the other videos that you're going to see. And I'm not updating every single video this semester to kind of accompany their changes. Only reason why I'm kind of pointing this out is that Google and even other cloud providers like to change their interface almost like on a weekly basis, it seems. So keeping up with every single graphical change is basically just impossible to do. But all of the content is pretty much the same. All of the keywords are basically the same. All of the concepts are near identical. Okay, so this is the home page in 2024. The home page last year, this was a blue bar up here with, I think, a few more things crammed in, and the interface here was slightly different, but everything is still the same. Okay, we still have this hamburger menu on the side with pretty much every single cloud technology out there. Really nice thing about having Google as the cloud provider is that their search is really good for finding what you need. So for instance, if I want to check out my billing, which is something that you should do from time to time, let's go to our billing account, okay? And I'm going to see how many credits I have, how many credits have I used. Why have I used 15 cents already? That's interesting. Well, I can really drill in and see, what's costing me money here. I should mention that too while I am pulling this stuff up. If you are doing anything in class, if you're doing labs, if you're doing your term project, if you're doing basically anything that is going to be cloud related, it will cost you money. So ensure that when you are done with something, that you turn it off if you can. So if you have a big virtual machine that you've created, shut it down before you close your browser for the day or before you close your Google Cloud tab for the day, because every moment, every minute, every second that is on, it will cost you money. And usually it's not a lot, but it's something which can creep up on you if you're not used to it. But here I see the amount of credits that I have. So I've got 100 for my account because I have lots of demos and stuff to build for class. You all will be getting $50 of credits. And if you need more, please ask me because I can get your account refilled. But I can basically go to billing very easily, or I can go to cloud functions very easily just by searching. So essentially, kind of the point is that if you need to find a technology and you don't know where it is, just search for it. It's going to pop up here very nicely. Okay, so three other things to talk about. Sorry that this video is getting a little bit long. I've got some dead space in the middle, so it looks a little bit longer to me over here. Two things to talk about. Now, the first one is that you might be asking, what are these credits things that you're talking about? I'm not sure what that is. Hopefully by now you should all have received emails or announcements in Blackboard with how you get credits for the class. If you have not received that, please contact me because you should have cloud credits. Now, this is for working in Google Cloud. As of this exact moment in time, I have not yet received the credits for the Quick Labs. I am following up with Google to see what's going on, so there might be a slight delay in those. Quick Labs are separate credits from Google Cloud, and if you are wondering what that is, Quick Labs, Google Skills Boost, now they rebranded it recently. Basically, these are kind of self-guided labs that are slightly adjacent to Google Cloud, use Google Cloud technologies, but it's not in your own projects. We have separate credits for this thing as well. Just they haven't sent them to me yet is all the point I'm trying to make. Okay, but I will be emailing you all about that. Last but not least, as I mentioned, things change in Google Cloud or in any cloud provider quite often. And what you might see is that the visuals are different or something is out of date, something doesn't exist anymore. if you are ever concerned, please first, I guess, read the assignment and see if I have made any comments. And second, email me or reach out to me in Discord if you are concerned. Okay, so always feel free to ask me if you have problems. But kind of the point I want to make is that in our, sorry, not assignment 2, I want assignment 5, because this one's very clear that there's an issue here. Um, some of these code labs have been written a few years ago. They're still very valid and very useful, but the technologies may have been rebranded or renamed. I'm sure you're all familiar with how Google likes to rename things as often as possible, kill things off, that fun stuff. But in this particular code lab here, I say go through the following code labs: stack driver logging and stack driver trace for cloud functions, which is great. This gets us into cloud functions, learning how to build serverless functions, which are really, really useful and really, really nifty. Last updated 2020, not a great start for us as people in 2024, right? All of this is still good and still valid, right? It is still a very useful lab to go through, which is why I have it here, okay? However, that's where the however comes in. The interface has changed, so make sure that you allow unauthenticated invocations. Go get is no longer supported, so in order to install this thing, run go install. Function details has been renamed to metrics. If you get an error, do this. Stack drive trace no longer exists. It is now just called the Trace Explorer. Basically, if I have an assignment for you, read through it before you do it because I might have some gotchas or some best practices or something like that, okay? Other things in here too, I guess, while we're in here, and it's already a long video. Apologies again. They're not all this long. Here is what I want you to submit. So make sure that you know which screenshots you have to take or what data you need to provide for me as you go so that you don't have to go back and redo the whole thing, okay? But other than that, yeah, so we have, see, the course web pages I talked about, showing you Google Cloud, which is good. Credits, again, don't put your credit card in. Reminder, don't put your credit card in. Second reminder, turn everything off when you are done. Again, this will draw money. And just to kind of, I guess, show you for funsies, let's say I wanted to create a virtual machine, okay? Now, hopefully this doesn't take too long to spin up. Otherwise, I just cut this out because it's already a long video. But let's say I want to create a new instance, so a new virtual machine, right? And I just leave it as the default settings for everything. This is going to cost me $25.50 a month just by having it on, not doing anything. Everything you do in the cloud is going to cost money, which is why we have credits for this. Okay, I think that's all for technologies that you need to know about. One last thing to chat is that I run a Discord server for students. Now, it was a little bit more useful during pandemic times when everybody was, in here. However, for you all as async students, please feel free to use it. This 680 that you see here, I'm going to rename to 655 probably after I'm done with this video. But anything class related you want to talk about in here, questions you have, feel free to ping me. I'm not going to force you to join it, so it's going to be an unofficial place for us to chat, but it's a nice, quick and easy place to get a hold of me. Otherwise, feel free to use Blackboard, messaging, or emails, something like that. Ooh, that is a good point. Sorry, I forgot. Blackboard has updated. And one thing to kind of keep in mind, if you want to email me, or if you want to message me, make sure that you tick the little also send an email copy button, because otherwise I am not going to be notified that you have messaged me anything. It's this weird little quirk of Blackboard where you don't get an email notification unless if the person wants you to, it seems. So make sure you just tick that little box, send email as well. Otherwise, it's going to be whenever I next log into Blackboard that I will notice it. So I guess point is that if you have anything you want to talk about, just email me, message me in Discord, send me a Blackboard message. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Okay. On my little timer on my other screen that I keep looking at, we are now at 20 minutes. Hopefully this video will be cut down slightly from that. Plenty of time for intro video. Any other questions, again, please feel free to get a hold of me. But otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful class, that you learn a lot about the cloud, and that this is useful for your future careers, hopefully as budding cloud engineers. Anyway, Have a great day, and I will see you throughout the semester. Bye, everybody.